Okay, so the basic way a camera works is with a lens. This is a rather large view camera lens, and it's a good way to show you what I'm talking about. Now, if you look at this, you'll see that there's an aperture, and the one way that light is controlled entering the camera is with the aperture, and there's an open position, which it's in now, and then as you close down the aperture with your f-stops, it gets smaller. So basically what you're doing is you're letting less light through the camera, but this is much like your eye. When you go out in bright sunshine, your iris gets real small, and when you're in the dark, it gets real big. So that's one of the basic ways that you control the light coming in and hitting the light sensor in the camera, is with aperture. The other way is with shutter speed, and you have lots of different shutter speeds. You have very fast shutter speeds. For instance, if we cock the shutter, you can see that there's very brief shutter speeds, whereas you can also have very long shutter speeds, which allow a longer amount of light to come through the camera. You can even open the camera up and just open the aperture and then close it. But you've got, on these basic cameras that we'll be working with, you've got anywhere from 1 second. You know, a common setting is a 1/60th of a second. It's a short enough shutter speed that you can hand hold the camera and take a reasonable photograph, and it looks like that. Okay? So that's the basics of the lens. The two things that control the making of a photograph and the amount of light that gets to the sensor is your aperture and your shutter speed. So we'll talk more about why you would use different shutter speeds or different f-stops and the different kinds of effects you get.